What's up, everybody? Modest Cody here with another Honda Grom performance video. And as you can see, what we got in front of us is the Finbro 183cc Big Bore Kit, and then also the Kitaco oil cooler and the clutch cover replacement part with the spinner delete, I guess you could call it. It also allows for cartridge oil filters versus having to clean that whole thing out, which is a giant mess. So there it is. That's the Big Bore Kit. Looks stock. Actually looks pretty normal, so that's kind of good. It doesn't stand out too much. Also did the gearing change for it. So the front sprocket here is up one tooth and the rear sprocket is down two, and it looks a little nicer in my opinion. Kind of cleans up that rear wheel area. And to go hand in hand with the oil cooling, there's the op mid temperature gauge. It doesn't flash like that in real life. That's just the camera doing that. It works really well. I highly recommend it. So you might be where I was when I was looking to do this, and that's probably why you're here, and that's for two reasons. A, am I able to do this myself? And B, is it even worth it? And I'd say yes on both accounts. So first of all, if you have a basic understanding of building things, mechanics or whatever, this is pretty easy to do. It took about 5 hours, and I have a basic, mechanics tool set and then a torque wrench. A second set of hands is pretty helpful as well. So if you have someone that wants to drink some beers with you while you do it, I could probably do it in two now after going through the process. And the second one is it worth it? Well, let me just take the bike for a ride and show you guys what it sounds like, and then we'll talk about that a little bit here in a second. Mistakenly put on the wrong case on the GoPro, so you're getting a little windy nonsense there, but you can see the exhaust sounds pretty good. I don't know if you can tell, but the bike definitely climbs hills much better. That hill I was just going up, I do it almost every day, and it did it okay in the past with the stock 125 engine, but now it just blasts up it, and I'm not even really trying. I like the way it sounds. It's not too loud, it's not giving me a headache or anything like previous bikes I've owned have done. And down to that question of, what to expect, I think what you should expect of this is a performance gain across the board. Now, I can't be 100% sure on the top end yet because I haven't really gone wide open throttle in fourth gear for an extended period of time. I was getting about 75 miles per hour top on the stock engine, and now I've already got it up to about 80, maybe like 77. But it seemed like I had a little bit of ways to go on that. I just don't want to hold it at wide open throttle for an extended period of time while I'm kind of nearing the end of my break-in, which I'm getting close to. But more to come on that in the future. But I can tell you for sure that the acceleration and the mid-range of the bike have a drastic improvement across the board. The power band on this thing, if anybody owns one of these, it's actually got a pretty good little power band that you can feel it on the bike, and now you really can feel it. I do have a couple extra things on the bike I've talked about in previous videos, and some new things that I haven't talked about yet. A keen eye might have saw that earlier when I was looking at the bike. But as far as the things that I've had prior to this, there was the Taiga full exhaust system, there's the Chimera intake, the wideband 2 module, and the Power Commander 5. And I think those things are really important to put on the bike first before you actually go with the Big Bore Kit. That way you can have it breathing properly and adjust the air-fuel ratio as necessary for a change like this. If you haven't done those yet, take a look at my previous videos, and I'll link those up here so you can kind of see what you're going to expect out of those. But once you get them in conjunction with the Big Bore Kit, game changer, totally different. The bike is at least 10 times more fun to ride now. I don't know how to rate it. I feel like I have a pretty big smile on my face every time I really start getting on the bike because it's just so spunky now. Kind of always has been, but definitely more than it has been in the past. So, like I said, when I bought this, I also got the cooling system, the Kitaco cooler, and the clutch cover. So the cooler right there is also behind the scenes, has a more powerful pump pushing oil through it. The clutch cover has that little cup right there on the side that allows to put a cartridge filter in, as well as the window to see the oil level. So changing the oil is way easier, maintaining it, pretty awesome. You don't have to take pieces off. And then that spinner from the inside is removed and allows for less rotating mass, which helps exponentially when you think about weight reduction. And I'll get to that actually in a later video when I talk about some other parts on the bike. But you're getting a performance increase there. You're getting a maintenance helper, I guess, when it comes to changing the oil. And then you're being safe because the engine is staying cool, and you're going to kind of protect this little investment you've done to the bike. I'd say that this is probably my favorite thing I've done to the bike so far. It seems like that's kind of a no-brainer, making just more raw power. But there is one more thing on the bike that I haven't talked about, and many of you have probably already noticed it. But I'll be talking about that more in the future. There might be one more thing on the bike, though, that is just as equally as awesome of an upgrade as an engine is for the overall performance change. So what to expect, you're going to get more power. You're going to have a little bit of adjustment and tweaking to do for the first few weeks to first few months as you kind of get the engine tuned just right, which takes patience. And I think you're also going to have a lot of fun just doing it, not to mention riding it, but the install itself, it really was a pretty enjoyable process because now I feel like I can change anything on the bike now after working on one of the most complicated parts of it. And I felt that way in the past about previous bikes as well. Once you open up the internals and you understand the bike a little bit more, it just makes you have a lot more confidence on doing minor things and other major, projects as well. Saving yourself money from taking it to the shop, and also just increasing your knowledge of, how your bike is supposed to run in general. I think they say 240 is the maximum temperature, by the way, that you want to run it at. Anything over that, you're kind of risking some problems. So luckily, with the temperature gauge I look at pretty regularly while riding it, I've only stayed around 210 or 208 degrees actually maximum, I think. And I live in Texas. It's not super hot yet, but we've had one or two warmer days, and it doesn't really climb over that at all, even with me getting on it. If you guys can think of anything else you want me to talk about in the future, I'll gladly accept those in the comments, and I'm interested in finding new upgrades myself and mods and all that fun stuff, so just let me know. I do have some plans in the works for changing the bars and the levers and the grips. But again, if you had a good eye, you might have noticed some other things that I'll be talking about here in the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned and like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video today. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you next time, and Grom on, my friends, Grom on. Looking good.